Hi, my name is Jashandeep
Hello.
Singh. Today I'm presenting on the topic human population explosion. Human population growth, specifically since the 1960s, has been a major cause of concern since it poses a threat to a sustainable planet. Since the very beginning of human species to exist, we had grown only to about 3 billion up until 1960. But after that, everything changed. During the Industrial Revolution in 1960, human population reached 3 billion. 14 years later, the population passed 4 billion in 1974. In 1987, it stands at 5 billion. 1999, another billion is gained. And in 2011, we finally reached 7 billion. It is estimated that by the end of this century, we're gonna be standing at 11 billion people, which is a whole lot more than the Earth could possibly tolerate. So why is overpopulation a cause of concern? As population increases, problems like food insecurity become more prevalent. People need more food supply, and going off the limits leads to crisis. It also causes climate change and global health concerns. So the problems and the sustainability challenges, they go both hand in hand. It is obvious that as number of people grow, there needs to be broader supply of food. But the challenge is how much can be grown without posing a sustainability problem. We know that we have natural resources that are not limited, that are actually limited. Nature cannot produce food beyond its spectrum. The next problem that we see is every human being has a carbon footprint. Everything that we do has a carbon footprint. We eat food, wear clothes, drive cars. All of this comes at a cost to the environment. So how can we reduce carbon footprint with the increasing population? Human population has to stop growing in order to put a boundary on carbon footprint. Another problem that comes with this is the limited access to healthcare. More people on Earth raises the probability of health issues with limited amount of attention. Millions of people die every year due to lack of access to healthcare. And the sustainability issue for that is if there are more disease outbreaks, then it is an obstacle in pursuing sustainable development. A place is not called sustainable if people are dying there. Humans are killing a lot of species. Overpopulation contributes in human attack on forests, cutting them down in order to extract resources such as wood. They step in the shoes and become predators and kill animals to satisfy their hunger, and it makes the species go extinct. We already are facing problems with our oceans. There has been a lot of fishing over exploiting the ocean going on right now. Next is the energy demand, which is on the rise. Fossil fuel consumption is at its highest levels as the world population continues to rise. According to a study by Institute of Energy Research (IER), these graphs they show in 2011 the petroleum usage was at 37%, natural gas was 26%, coal was at 20%. But they estimate in 2040 the situation will not change much. The petroleum use will be 31%, natural gas only increases 2%, while the coal decreases 1%. So we are not making significant changes in order to make our planet more sustainable. So what needs to be done in order to make sure that the world stands at a good population number and it doesn't grow at the rate that it is growing right now? Developing countries are the root cause of population growth. Most of them cover the continent of Africa. and we have learned in this class that in African countries, the children per couple, there's like 8 to 10 kids per couple, and it is a problem. And it is, as we know from studies, they say the developing nations are going to contribute most of the overpopulation or the population growth in the coming decades. So we need to make sure we have family planning and education being supplied to people in those developing nations. Most of the people in those nations are uneducated and they do not have any family planning. And most of the disease problems and all of the health concerns and deaths occur on the continent of Africa, where there are more developing nations. It is better to feed 2 kids and have 6 kids starve. It is better to feed 2 kids and not starve the remaining 6. So it's better to have 2 kids rather than having 10 and starving 8 and only being able to feed 2. So we need to take action right now. Thank you.